The third season of The Mandalorian became a divided topic for the fans. I had been placed firmly in the Mando can do no wrong camp, but I do have some issues that I would like to fix with season 3. As a precursor, I am not a fan that they brought Grogu back to be with Din during the Boba Fett series, but that is not something I can fix within the third season of The Mandalorian. That being said, I would first undo what I see as a contradiction when Luke gave Grogu the binary option to stay or go. Now, yes, that was part of the Boba Fett series as well, but I can fix part of it, at least in the Mando series. Now, if we give Grogu a mentor like Luke, that opens the door for needed growth on Grogu's part when it comes to Force abilities, as well as establishes a sustained connection to one of the most well-known Force users in the galaxy, as well as the fandom. This could easily influence missions and adventures that Din and Grogu decide to go on if Luke begins to have a continual relationship with them and learns to trust them as friends and allies. Secondly, and I think most important of the three, the swap putting Bo-Katan at the forefront of the arc to reclaim Mandalore needs a better journey. I'm not even saying it can't happen, but the previous seasons definitely painted Din as the one who would reclaim their home. I do think that the fans would be on board with Bo-Katan taking the mantle, however, if they made Bo and Din forces to be reckoned with, but as equals. The show went out of its way to place Din in positions of low status, needing to be saved, oftentimes by Bo, which runs contrary to who his character has been established to be throughout the first two seasons. Season 1 and 2 made Din a self-made badass that didn't need much help, and if he did, it was for a very good reason. So, constantly getting shown up by a secondary character out of the blue is plain bad writing. I would fix that by making them go through an isolated journey together. Put the two of them at odds with each other at first. Bo seeing him as a threat to her aspirations to the throne, and Din being unsure of if he can even trust her based off of what he learned about the Darksaber, and knowing Bo is gunning for a spot he fell into. As their isolation continues over the span of 2 or maybe 3 episodes, the danger becomes too much for either of them to overcome alone, and we see them put aside their differences in order to simply survive. Along the way, we can get insight to Bo-Katan's wishes as they talk, where we realize she actually has survivor skill that she's been concealing all of these years, and she feels compelled to do something about the destruction of her home. She sees others looking up to her because of who she was in the old world, and she is ultimately scared of letting everybody down. Likewise, Din could connect with her through his past and losing everything, being given hope in a future through becoming a Mandalorian. They begin to share a desire to give other people something to believe in, creating a mutual understanding and relationship. Now, this would be the first corrective step of many that would need to be made, but bringing low two very important characters together would be a jump start on the path needed to earn the audience's respect for Bo. Lastly, small things like dinosaur child abductions need to be proofread and given good reason to happen. Far too many things like that are happening simply just to push the plot along. Now, if we took the story arc that I just previously gave, then we wouldn't be needing plot devices nearly as much, so this problem would be self-solved. Additionally, we need to get rid of the revolving door of cameos. Every once in a while is fine, but it's starting to happen often enough that it takes away from the storyline by losing the immersion when we think about what celebrity we have this week, or if the cameo is a terrible actress like Lizzo. Now, this was actually 3.5 corrections in the Season 3 storyline for Mandalorian. I am still definitely rooting for it and will watch what comes next. However, I would give it a B- rating as I was taken out of the story several times due to plot contrivances, and the writers really didn't give me good enough reason to swap Din's journey for Bo. Anyways, that's all I've got. Tell me what you thought about it, or what movie and series I should do next.